Being faced with a redundancy or termination can be a very challenging experience. However, you may be eligible for services to assist you in the career transition process. To tell us more about career transition, we're at Chandler McLeod. I'm at Chandler McLeod to talk to Katerina Papamarca about career transition services. Hi Katerina, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you, Melissa.
Katerina, what are career transition services?
Career transition services are support services that organisations sponsor on behalf of their employees whose positions they've made redundant.
Okay. And what services do Chandler McLeod provide?
Sort of services we provide is, the first thing is access to office facilities, so employees, previous employees of an organisation can come in on a daily basis or for the duration of their program and access office facilities including computers, internet access, telephones, photocopiers, fax machines to conduct their job search. The other thing that's offered is an online program whereby participants on the program can do some career reflection, and also what we offer is career coaching, which I think is one of the most valuable components of the program, where we assist people on a one-to-one basis in terms of reflecting on their career and developing some career goals and also assisting them to achieve those goals.
What range of emotions do people go through when they've been made redundant?
People can go through a whole spectrum of different emotions. They can feel, we've met people who felt very elated and very happy, they were all relieved. We've also seen people who felt very anxious, apprehensive, also people who might experience shock, anger, resentment, frustration. People can also experience all of those emotions, or they might experience all of those emotions on an hourly basis, so the emotions can vary immensely. It's very much a grief reaction for a lot of people, sadness as well.
I guess that's where the coaching would come
Absolutely. We're often on site on the day of the notification, and after the person's received the news, their manager directs them to a room where we're sitting. We provide some on-site support and counselling. And part of that process is to assist them with the immediate emotional reaction to hearing the news, because for a lot of people it's unexpected.
Okay. How do you assist people to bolster their interview skills?
We actually have what we call an interview guidance system, which is a camera system whereby we run a mock interview, and there's one of our staff is the interviewer, the program participant is the interviewee, and then we tape them, and a coach is sitting watching them in the next room on a TV screen, and we've got transmitters and earpieces so the coach can actually give live feedback during the interview process. This process was developed in conjunction with Charles Sturt University, and it's actually we found it to be quite powerful in terms of coaching people to present well during interviews. Often people say that it's a lot harder than actually doing interviews themselves.
Okay, so it's good preparation.
Absolutely. We give people feedback such as sit up straight, or things like you're rambling, you need to stop rambling, or you need to say I instead of we, and often they say when they were at the interview they had our voice in their head telling them remember to say I, not we, remember to sit up, remember not to fidget too much.
I'm now speaking with Noel Matthews, who's a senior consultant psychologist at Chandler McLeod. Noel, what kind of psychological assessment do people undergo in the career transition process?
What we look at there, Melissa, is really appraising the individual in three major areas. The first area that we look at is their intellectual ability or problem-solving skills. The second area that we look at is their vocational preferences or interests, and the third area that we look at is their temperament or personality.
Can you tell me a bit more about the abilities? What does that incorporate?
The abilities testing really typically incorporates time tests that will give us an idea about the person's ability to learn new information, their ability to think laterally. It can also look at their verbal and numerical skills, and for some, say, technical roles, it can also look at their mechanical reasoning or spatial reasoning, and for some clerical roles it can look at more clerical checking, computational type skills. So the abilities that we look at are generally relevant to the kind of work experience or career that the person is considering.
And vocational preferences, tell me a bit more about that.
That's an untimed questionnaire where the person basically ranks various occupations or activities according to what most interests them.
Noel, what kind of information do you get from a temperament assessment?
The temperament questionnaire gives us a lot of very useful information around the basic motivators of the individual, what's important to them, and that's very important to understand the kind of environment and the types of roles that the individual will be most suited to. It also gives us information about their work approach, their interpersonal style, how they manage stress and conflict, and if they're going into a management role, it gives us information about their management style or leadership capabilities.
Okay, so you get a lot of information from that assessment.
The temperament component is particularly important in terms of helping to decide appropriate career direction for an individual.
And are these services available to those people who haven't necessarily been made redundant but are looking for a career change?
Yes, they are, Melissa. It's quite appropriate to use the same kind of process and tests for people who are either late adolescents or at any stage in an individual's career to help them reassess whether or not the career that they've embarked upon is a good choice for them, or what they're thinking of doing is a good choice for them. It's quite appropriate, and you don't need to go through the redundancy process to access this kind of program.
I've been joined by Kristina Shannon, who has been through the career transition process. Christine, tell me about your experience of the career transition program.
Well, I was made redundant a couple of years ago. Okay. I'd worked in a large organisation, and not just myself but a number of people with whom I worked were all made redundant at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were the benefits of the program for you, Christine?
There were so many at different levels, and probably the first one that people naturally think of is getting another job, which I did do. But apart from that, there's a lot of questions that you do ask yourself in terms of what type of job that you really want to do. Is it something that you really enjoy? Is it something that you're happy to get up in the morning and go? And basically I made a big change in that area. I went back to a style of work that I'd left probably 8 years ago, and I'm really enjoying it now and getting a lot of satisfaction. And on a personal level, there's a lot of growth, and you feel a lot stronger and a lot more confident.
We've been talking about career transition and the career guidance process. If you'd like more information, go to the Pathways website.
For more information about Pathways magazine, you can visit our website, which is www.pathways33.com. You'll also find some information there about some alternative health products and services and DVDs. Now, after the break, I'm going to be speaking to William Whitecloud, who is the author of the book The Magician's Way, so stay tuned.